Healing crystals, skincare routines, knitting a sweater, fitting in jeans. With Katie and Sarah, no need to worry, you're on a lady journey.
Dill is something where, like, if you get it, like, you better be using it that day, because that's not one that keeps well.
That's the thing. I was like, do I want to put, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember the recipe if dill and feta were going to go well together. So I couldn't figure that out. And I didn't want to take a chance because I was like, if I'm not using it today.
Yeah, you have to like Jimmy rig it in your fridge with like putting it in the pot in the cup of water with the wet a paper towel and then fold the tin foil around it.
Yeah, and then
live.
Go talk to it every 10 minutes.
Hello,
are you okay in there? Do you need a blanket or anything?
Oh, yeah, love you.
Dill's out of control. I also do feel like dill is an acquired taste. Sometimes I'm like, it's too powerful.
It is like dill pickles is what it gives.
Yeah,
in any context. Yeah, but I love
but it's a good summer herb. Or is it spring?
I
think
have
it
no
shows
idea.
up around spring.
But I like to put it in a deviled egg. I like a deviled egg, which is one of my spring foods, but but it goes into summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. What's that tzatziki? Oh, love tzatziki.
Tzatziki's really good.
Oh, I just
what is that?
Eat it.
Dill and
it's like Greek yogurt, dill,
and
garlic. Yeah, and that's it. Oh no, I think it's cucumbers actually.
Yeah,
is it?
You're right.
Sorry, Lady Journey.
Took you on
We're opening up some misinformation. Welcome to Lady Journey, everybody.
Lady Journey. We were just talking about dill.
We just had some great pasta salad, little game changer.
Game changer.
And I want to start off by just reminding everybody that we will be having a live taping of Lady Journey at St. Louis at the Helium Comedy Club. Our guest is Nikki Glaser, August 20th. Okay, people, mark your calendars.
That's a Sunday, right?
It is a Sunday. The tickets are up on our website. They're on our Instagram. They're on everywhere, all of our stuff. And it'll be in the description. We'll put the link as well.
Yeah. It's going to be an amazing show.
It's going to be such an amazing show. I mean, I think we're probably going to sell out.
Bring your favorite pastry.
We're going to do a pastry tasting afterwards with some of our favorite local brands.
Yes.
And it is going to be everything.
Everything. So you don't want to miss that. It's going to be
you want to fly
the event of the summer before you head into
the summer,
business and school.
You're going to want to fly in for this. See the arches, okay?
And then what else is there? I think I went to a zoo there once, and it was great.
I went to an art museum the last time I was there with my cousin, who is she's a sculptor, so she took us to the art museum, and it was really fun. It was really fun going through the art museum with her because she's a college professor, so she'll go, all these observations of like, see how this kind of, the texture of it is, it's different here, and see how these are in pieces, and I'm like, it looks like a bag of chips, right?
Yes.
Just different.
I know, sometimes I'm like, did an artist really put that much thought in, or they're just like, I just like the way it looks?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know, that's how I go through an art museum like I'm shopping. I'm like, I would buy that, hate it,
yes,
would pay.
I know Joe was telling me he's been doing a few Q&A for the movie, and people will be like, now, do you think this family, did you mean for it to relate to what's going on in the world right now? And they were like, no.
Did you mean for your family to be a comment on my own childhood? It's like, are you crazy?
Well, the guy was like, do you think Uncle Kevin represented what's going on in the Russia-Ukraine thing? And you're like, dude, no.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not Don't Look Up, okay? Yes, it's an allegory.
I'm like, you're more than welcome to the comparisons, but I've always wondered that with artists, are they full of shit when somebody asks them a question? Like, they could have easily been like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you noticed that. We talked about that ad nauseum. And yes, that was definitely a theme that we were playing with. And then it would have made them look like even bigger geniuses.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think most time I suspect it's like, no.
Yeah. Well, I remember people are really rewarded for that type of behavior because you set yourself apart as like someone who like gets it, you know, especially in like the art world. Like when I was in school, we did this play that was called Aminta, and it's like a medieval Italian romance.
Yeah.
And one of the kids, he was like, he would always just say, people were like, he's a genius. He's a genius. Meanwhile, he's a 19-year-old boy.
Well, I think it might be borderline because Joe was watching that documentary. I think it's like Room 313 about Stanley Kubrick and The Shining. And people think that it has these bigger meanings. And they're like, he used the Room 13 and then Apollo landed on the moon at this date. And you're like, this is QAnon.
Gosh. This is QAnon.
This is QAnon.
This is QAnon.
In the art world. And that's what I think sometimes ends up happening.
It's so self-aggrandizing to just be like, I think, well, the boy in my class, I remember he raised his hand once and was like, I just have a sense that if Aminta was an animal, he would be a porpoise. And everyone was like, it's like, what the fuck are you saying?
I wish you said something.
I know.
feel like we need to start calling these people out immediately.
Call it out. Because
Lady Journey.
Lady Journey, yes. That's our journey. Call out culture. But no, let's get into the journeys today because I have such a fun one and I'm so thrilled about this. It is being Cheugy.
Everybody's Cheugy. I think everybody's got Cheugy in them. And you better have Cheugy in you because I feel like
you have to. You can't be like in your 30s and 40s just being like emulating Gen Z everything.
No, that's Cheugy.
That is actually also Cheugy.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Cheugy. It does also feel like, if you don't know, it is a new term that's come on the scene lately. And Gen Z people are basically using it to oppress, I would say, to oppress people in older generations.
Yeah.
And to make fun of us for being old, which we are. So they have every right to do that.
Go for it.
Go for it. But I will say, like, one thing that's Cheugy, side parts. I was like so sad to see the side part go. And then the last time I got my hair cut, the guy did a middle part. Edgar, thank you. And I love the middle part on me.
Yeah.
It actually works for me because I used to always get like a little slight bald spot and I would get like a little fuzz right here. And then with the side part, with the middle part, it smooths it out. And I'm like, yes. Am I 23 running around with just like I have no brain in my head?
Yeah. I sported the side part for a long time. I never know. I went with bangs because nowadays I just feel like my hair lies so flat against my head that I'm like, this is how I feel like I look in photos. Or like when I saw my Colbert appearance, I was like, this is what I thought I looked like, just like flatted out. So I decided to get face framing layers.
Yeah, just a 2-dimensional face.
Yes. So I wouldn't feel so flat. But yes. So I haven't sported a side part in ages, but I have been thinking about, man, I really like the side swept bang era. And somebody speculates on TikTok that they might be coming back, and I suspect that they probably will. Yeah. Which means we then go back to the side part.
We would. I feel like the side part, here's the thing, like if you look best with a side part,
do it.
You have to do the side part.
Do the side part, yeah.
I used to do a middle part
it's the hair flip.
Yeah.
I think it's that
hair
look
flip
that we were doing where we were like this.
It gives you more volume. It does give you more, like a little more volume.
Yeah.
And the thing about
it looks good.
It looks good. The thing about like being Cheugy is like you have to do what looks best for you, and then like these young people, like a lot of their aesthetic is counterculture.
Yes.
That it looking bad intentionally, and I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around it. But I'm also kind of loving it at the same time, where it's like, oh, that kind of like just rolled out of bed, no bra, like middle part. I'm just like, now I'm at a job interview.
Yeah. The sheer balls of it.
The sheer balls of it. Yeah. I love that. I love it for that reason. And it's just like everyone just feels like a misfit who's like living in a warehouse. Yes.
Sometimes some of the fashion choices of like Gen Z, I'm like, it looks like, from what I gather, you got to make it look like you just got dressed out of a Lost and Found.
Yes. You don't care.
You don't care. But I do think, weirdly, if you put random things together, it looks oddly good.
Yeah, it's kind of like hot against the odds. Against all odds, I look amazing.
Yeah, wear a rain boot with a business suit.
Oh, they love it.
They love high fashion.
Very high fashion. Very high
Very. Yes.
High fashion. Now, one thing I have to say, like, this is something that came up on the list of stuff that's cheugy, which is black Toms, which came up as a huge surprise to me because when I was doing my summer shoe capsule, I was at Nordstrom and I was like, my luck has just changed for the better because the black Toms that I love, that's like a shoe staple, they were all on sale. I was like, what are the odds? So I bought them. I've been wearing them. And then I found out it's now the shoe choice that has been shunned by America. And that's why they were on sale.
Where you're like, oh, now I get it.
I get it.
How did it make you feel when you found out your black Toms were on the cheugy list?
I was like, oh no, I've been walking around like a fool. But the thing about black Toms is, and this is something where it's like, I have to have comfortable footwear, and I refuse. We talked about this before, but I would refuse to wear the giant Doc Martens, especially in the summer.
You can. And also, this is my forecast. I think Toms, because they've been around for 10 years now.
Yeah.
People are still sporting them. People always act like they're out of, if they're going out of style, you're like, they're not. People still wear them because it's a comfortable shoe.
Yeah.
I suspect Toms is going to be Uggs.
Yeah. Or like the Crocs.
Yes. Because we thought those were going to go out, but they've actually stood the test of time.
Yeah.
And I know Uggs have been shown to be cheugy, but if you, in the wintertime, if you're in a really cold area, Uggs are the way to go, or any Ugg knockoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and they're cute.
That's how I feel about Toms because there is a really specific type of shoe. Okay. No sock.
Yeah.
They have arch support.
Yes.
You can walk all day in them and they don't look like a tennis shoe, so you can wear it in a less casual setting.
Yes.
Like it's perfect for like linen pants if you don't want to wear sandals because you are walking a lot, but sneakers look weird.
Yes. Well, they're like that, like Converse are in and you're like, who stopped wearing Converses?
Yeah, well, Converse are cheugy apparently.
Weird.
That's what I saw, but I was like, ever since I read that, I see them everywhere. So I feel like they're just a timeless shoe.
They are a timeless shoe, and you're like, they're not going out of style. I get this annoyed with fashion mags every year. They're like, espadrilles are in, and you're like, they're here every summer.
They're a summer shoe.
You're full of shit.
They're a summer shoe, and not to mention like those shoes fall apart.
They do. They're
made of rope. My shoes made of rope didn't last.
No, your feet are gonna smell like shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
Although I do want some.
Yeah, it's a good summer shoe.
I love them for a lake weekend.
I know, and then I always see an updated version that looks like, I saw one that looks kind of edgy, and I'm like, ooh, back in again. Oh, espadrilles.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
And of course we knew that skinny jeans are cheugy. We knew that.
Yeah.
But if you like skinny jeans and you look your best in them and you are buying like the barrel leg jeans to fit in, you're also cheugy.
Yeah. What's the barrel leg?
These are the barrel leg that I have on now. It's just a really wide leg jean that's like has a slight taper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got these at the Gap actually on sale. But the thing about cheugy is like it also describes somebody who's outdated, but it can also be described someone who's trying too hard.
Yes. But then they say that it's okay to be cheugy.
It's okay to be cheugy if you have an awareness and you're like, I love these brands.
Yeah.
Like basic is a similar insult that I have heard compared in a way that's like basic describes somebody who they just like for example, Starbucks, because they haven't tried a lot of stuff and they just know like, oh, Starbucks, like I know I like this, so I just only ever go there, and I have an underdeveloped personality.
Yeah.
But cheugy is even if you are like a millennial and you have a taste, and these fall within your taste. If you're like, well, it's just has a level of self-awareness.
Yeah.
It's like, I just love Kay Jeweler and I'm going to wear it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that is a good one. I don't know why. Kay Jewelers, actually, I've gone in there before and I'm like, they have jewelry that's nice.
Mike bought me a little piece from Kay Jewelers, and I think it's so cute.
It is.
Like, every kiss begins with K, and it came in a little baggie, and I just think like, it's so like,
yeah,
it is just like a mall brand, but you're like, I love it.
They have cute stuff.
They have really cute stuff.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, I think of like Swarovski Crystal Jewelry Store as like another, or Pandora.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, like the
Pandora
charm bracelet.
Charms.
Yeah,
I put that in that category, but you're like, I bet you if you go in there, you can find things that you like.
If you genuinely like it, then you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. You're being cheugy from a place of...
Sometimes you can be ironically cheugy, and that's a fashion statement in itself.
Well, you don't want to go to it from a mindset of fear.
Absolutely.
Because this is how I did feel when I found out about jean jackets, which are apparently like highly cheugy.
Which bothers me. Sometimes I'll show up with a jean jacket and always one person has some kind of comment.
People love to let you know that they're on the inside. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, you're wearing like a giant hat. Okay. So don't put my jean jacket down.
I know I still like wearing like a flared jean. They're actually very flattering a lot of the times.
Yeah.
I think maybe with shorter, it's maybe not because it emphasizes more of like curves more or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I like how they look on me. But every time I've worn them in the past, I've always gotten like, oh, somebody's bringing back the flare jean. I'm like, yeah, people are wearing.
How about just
these.
like a hi, how are you?
I know.
Like,
I'm gonna be like, your head looks stupid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, my personality is off-putting. It's like,
But yeah, like jean jackets, I'm like, it makes sense. It's a light-weighted jacket.
see, that's what I feel like millennials and like Gen X to a certain extent, like we really enjoy like the simplicity of a capsule wardrobe, or for example of just like minimalist pieces like the jean jacket that it's like it works with everything. You can wear it to dinner over a nice dress to dress it down. You can wear it out to a show in case it's cool. You can also like wear it with shorts. Like it goes with everything. And I just don't understand like what it's going to be replaced with. Like, are we supposed to now have 7 jackets? Like,
Yeah.
what it's like young people, like, you have no plan. You have no plan.
Yeah. If you're going to say something's cheugy, can you at least give us a substitute?
Yeah, it's like I can't have a
Have a
puffer
plan.
jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not
In
just
the
gonna,
summer?
Yeah, I have a puffer jacket over my dress. Like
Yeah.
I can't wear, because like I did see that like the more athletic jackets are like coming back in now. It's like, but that goes with shorts and jeans and nothing else.
Yes. And I also think at a certain age, you cannot have like a sports, like a fleece over your dress,
Oh,
because I feel
No.
like it looks sad. Or like you were cold and you had to go buy a sweatshirt in the airport. Look.
yeah, this is where I know, I love that. That's a great idea. Hi. I have been that person, by the way.
Yeah,
That
me
I'm
too.
just like, I'm in an H&M and I'm augmenting my wardrobe. Well, I feel like this is where I feel like there's a fundamental misunderstanding between the Gen Zs and the older generations. It's just like they don't give an F. They want to look bad, and that's part of the way that they are claiming their own identity.
Go for it.
And I'm like, I wish I could get on board, but I'm too held back by like wanting to look good.
Yeah, yeah. Where you're like, that only works for you. Wait until you hit 30.
Right. Yeah, you can look charming being 22 and having a fleece over a gown. Okay. But meanwhile, I show up and people are like, something is wrong.
Did your house, was it on fire and you
Yeah.
had to grab everything?
Yeah. These are all I own. This is all I have left. Oh my God.
I just like certain things after a while, like again, or like we talked about showing up to work with wet hair.
Yeah.
Like you just can't.
You just
after a
can't
while.
do it.
So that's the thing with like sometimes younger fashion. That's why I always appreciate the people that are on social media being like, is this fashion or is she skinny and 20? Like
Yes,
I
yeah.
look at like makeup tutorials or like, they're like, this is really great. Look what it does to my skin. I'm like,
It makes me look like a model.
because you already are a model.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
shut up.
Yeah, it's like, show me somebody who looks like they just got hit by a car and then do a makeover on them, and then I will buy that.
Yeah, I will get that product.
Yeah, it is like a little bit tricky, and I guess like that's the challenge of embracing cheuginess, because it's like certain trends aren't going to work for you.
Yeah.
And you're just going to be cheugy.
Yeah.
And you can't really hide from it because you're 38. It's like you're already 38, so you just have to deal with
They
it.
should just say that being 38 is cheugy.
Being 38 is very cheugy. Now, one of the things I'm really into this one is like I do feel like this is very millennial, like the whole like girl boss culture.
I'm into this. What the Gen Z take on the girl boss culture,
where it's like we've went from like, you know, I was telling, I was like reading the Think and Grow Rich book, and they would be like, "Are you really putting in as many hours as you could be?" And it's like, well, this was written in 1930, so I'm guessing people were working a 9 to 5 and then taking the weekends off.
Yeah.
And it's like, now fast forward however many years, and we're basically working around the clock to the point that you can't even actually work more, and we're still trying to compete, and we're like running ourselves into the ground. And it's like, yeah, okay, let's eschew girl boss culture. And also, let's make fun of it because it's just like a capitalist trick.
Yeah, it's like we fell for it.
We totally fell for it. And we're like doing spreadsheets and like buying a pencil skirt.
Yeah. Being a nightmare.
Yeah.
To your employees. I did appreciate that the girl bosses, like the big, like the nasty gal, not the underwear that you can bleed in,
Thinks, yeah.
I loved that they were just as toxic as male CEOs.
Yes, we can do it too. That's true feminism.
That's what we learned. You can break the glass ceiling of being also a piece of shit. Like that's a thing too that I feel like girl bosses have to, in order to be like that successful, you do have to exploit people, and it feels like
because guys are doing it.
That's
what they're doing.
Yeah.
So like, let us step on people on our way to the freaking top,
and under the guise of feminism.
Yeah.
I love when I say I love, I hate. I'm just being sarcastic, but like when jargon like that or feminism gets weaponized against us.
Yes, yeah.
It's infuriating.
I know. It's like, oh, you want to have equal rights? You're not working hard enough. It's like, but I am.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm working just as hard as a man, but I'm making less money.
I know. You're like, I'm doing a 9 to 5 internship.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
Pull yourself up.
Yeah. And then also a lot of these girl bosses, like Glossier girl came from money.
Yeah, a lot of the girl bosses come from money, and it also just it's like, it's not healthy to be that way. It's not like a type of lifestyle that is gratifying in any way, and you get to the point where like you're burnout, you're just like climbing and reaching, and you're never getting where you want because you're not putting energy into being present and evolving yourself emotionally.
Yeah. So I kind of was like intrigued to see what the trend is in the capitalistic world.
Yeah.
Of girl bossing. Like, are we going to be cool?
Are we going to be cool?
Cool girl boss.
Can you still have a business as a woman?
No.
In the modern era?
Well, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Like, I feel like the only way to get successful in, at least in America, it feels like you either have to exploit yourself or exploit other people.
Yes, it's like you're in a really, that's what the pattern is, because it's like the only thing that you bring to, the only really thing that you can offer is like being as competitive as everyone else, and it's kind of ends up being like that, that bicycle man who's on steroids. Don't know it. Sports.
Lance.
Yes, exactly.
Lance Armstrong.
Where it's like all the other bicycle men are on steroids, and so you have to put yourself on steroids to compete with them, and then everybody's on steroids and everybody's miserable. Meanwhile, we could just nobody be on steroids, and then we could just be competing at like a normal pace.
That's how I feel about Botox.
Yeah. Have we said that on here before?
Yeah,
I feel like the bicycle, the steroids, yeah.
Oh, we haven't talked about the bicycle, but we definitely have mentioned the Botox.
It's the same with the same with Botox. It's like, in order to compete as a lady boss, you have to like kill yourself to work all the time. You
inject needles into your face.
Kill yourself to have enough money to spend on a wardrobe and doing Botox and taking the Pilates and having the personal trainer and having the meal kit and having the smoothies. And it's just like, at a certain point, you're like, I kind of wanted to live a life.
Yes, I want to see my friends and family and not look like a swollen monster by the time I'm 55.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Showing up to your friend's picnic with just...
I can't see.
And not acknowledging it.
Yeah.
You look great, Michelle.
I've always wondered that when you get a BBL, like, how do you just nonchalantly show up with your new ass?
Yeah.
And not... if I got a new ass, I'd be like, I got a new ass, everybody.
Yeah.
Let me just get it out in the open.
Yeah, like in your sweatpants, right? Because you can't wear jeans. It's too, you have to buy new jeans. You're just like wearing a muumuu. So I don't know. I feel like with girl boss culture, this is the trend that I'm going towards now, where it's like I am still working hard and I'm working at a competitive level, but I'm, instead of putting time into overworking, I'm putting the time into my own mental well-being. And I think it's like quantity over quality for me at this point.
Definitely, I'm pulling back.
Yeah.
Well, meaning like, we were just talking about like I'll get asked to go do a spot in the Harlem or way deep in Brooklyn and it'll be like 10 people on a Sunday, and it takes me almost 2 hours to get out there because the train service on the weekend, and you're like, I'm not doing that anymore.
Well, part of you wants to do it because part of you wants to be like, I will get ahead by taking every spot, working as hard as I can, going for it. I will travel to make no money. I will do what I can. And then you do see people doing that, and then they seem to be getting ahead, but you also don't know the true story of what they're doing.
Yeah,
so
there's not a lot of transparency.
You don't know how they're coping. You don't know what they're giving up in order to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's important to know that you can only have so much time. You have to have trade-offs.
Absolutely. I wish if I woke up at a reasonable hour, I would definitely try to work at 9 to 5 in my regular life.
Yeah.
Meaning of like,
yeah,
I'm done with comedy at 5, or I put in my 8 hours. I'm done with the work.
That's 40 hours.
Yeah.
And then you are actually accomplishing more when you're rested.
Yeah.
It's diminishing returns. It's
Yeah.
diminishing returns. And this is kind of, I guess, veering off into like me now giving myself a pep talk and being like, it's okay to rest. Resting is okay. You are not on the same path as that person, but.
Oh, I know. Anytime I'm doing a pep talk, I'm like, I just want you guys to know this is for me.
This is for me. This is for me. I love when you're with somebody and they launch into they're pep talking you, which unsolicited, but it's just for themselves.
Yeah. Which,
that's how I am too. I'm like,
all the time.
Eyes on your own paper. You keep your eyes on your own paper. You keep your head down. You stay positive.
You're like, I'm stopped talking to you, and now I'm just, it's all me.
It's all me. You stop eating candy every night until you feel sick. You're like, I don't do that.
Well, you know what I mean.
You know what I mean. We all do it. Oh my gosh. But no, the last two things on the Cheugy list, which there's many things, and I encourage you to just do a check-in, a Cheugy evaluation, if you will, just to see where you fall on the Cheugy spectrum. Because it is a spectrum of, self-awareness and personal taste. But infinity scarves, fine.
Out.
I've been over them. It's not easy to get it on and off your neck. Let's be honest.
No.
It was a challenge for all of us.
Scarves are actually a lot of high maintenance.
Scarves, any scarf, unless it's like the winter, it's like, just come on. Like with the silk scarf, I get it, Hermes. You spent like $1 billion on it. It's like, and where are you wearing it? I'm just wondering, are you just a neckerchief or is it on the head? Like, it's just no point.
We were talking about blanket scarves.
A blanket
just
scarf.
Showing up with a huge blanket wrapped around you.
You are too much.
Too much.
You are a narcissist. I had a blanket scarf briefly and I immediately lost it. So it's like, that's how I buy my winter gear. I'm like, it
will be lost.
This is a disposable hat.
Yes. I'm really into, I got into balaclavas.
Wait, what's a balaclava?
It's, some of them, they're like almost like the ski mask with the eyes cut out, but they've gotten more like this.
Yes.
And if you go inside, you can pull them off your head and it'll just be like a scarf. So you're not going to lose the whole thing. And a lot of them are. So it's like wearing a beanie with a scarf mixture.
I love that. It's kind of like a spy.
Yeah.
Feels like
yes.
That's a very cute. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've seen those. Now, before the pandemic, Mike actually, and I do have a joke about this if anyone's listened to my album, but Mike literally had a full face mask that he would wear in the winter, and it looked insane. But he refuses to wear a hat because his hair, and which is fine. He's got great hair, but he would just going around, and it looked like he was robbing any establishment we went into. He looked like Shredder. It looked like the Shredder mask in Ninja Turtles, and I don't know what happened to it, but
you're like, he threw it out.
Who knows? It disappeared.
Yeah. Scarves out, infinity scarves. That was like the look for a while. People called it the Han Solo. Do you remember that look? Riding boots,
Yes.
skinny jeans, a quilted
The quilted
sleeveless vest.
Yes, the
with
quilted.
an infinity scarf.
Yeah.
And there would be women just drinking pumpkin spice lattes.
It was very like J. Crew, like 2012.
Yes.
And yeah, I never really loved that look because it feels like a little more.
Felt like Christian Blogger to me.
Yeah, it feels like autumn, like fall foliage cruise to me. And I'm just like, it's just not practical for my day-to-day lifestyle of,
Yes.
you know, I'm not riding up the Hudson like, with my friends and family.
I know, I'm like this. What world are... Who's living this life?
Who is living this life?
I know.
That's why I'm only buying like I really only want to buy like timeless pieces from now on. It's like I don't want to have to like look myself in the eye and be like, was this like ankle length silk blouse that goes it's basically a maxi dress. I don't know. I just feel like there's so many weird things that I've bought in the moment. Like I bought a pair of white plastic sandals, jellies.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, these aren't gonna stay in.
I just think of blisters.
They were horrible.
They're like torture devices. Because your foot gets wet and the rubber is
it just chafes your foot raw immediately. So I wore them one time. I haven't worn them again. I'm like, these are going to go out of style in 6 weeks.
Anytime it's summer and I break out the summer shoes, I come back and Joe's like, what happened to your feet? My feet are like bleeding
like you got
all
attacked
over
by
the
a dog.
So I've like I can't do strappy shoes anymore.
No.
Like I wore strappy shoes at the premiere.
Those were great.
I could only wear them one block.
Yeah.
And after one block, I was dying.
Yeah.
You're walking like I'm like I can't do this anymore.
I don't know how people do it. I specifically chose my birthday restaurant because it's 3 blocks from where we live, and I was like, I will wear my shoes.
Yeah, I'm going to because you want to so bad.
And you see people wearing it, and you're like, she's amazing, she's doing it, but you don't know what's going on inside her mind.
No,
you're comparing your inside to someone else's outside.
I know, but those women are mentally strong, and they deserve every success that they have out there.
They do. Girl boss. Girl boss is back. Well, we didn't get to your journey, but I guess we're going to have to cut it off on that.
That's all right.
One.
Cheugy's too fun to talk about.
Cheugy, there's so much with Cheugy, and I feel like I feel like we could even go in more.
Oh,
there's so much Cheugy stuff.
There's chevron stripes, like interior design.
Chevron stripes. Oh, the farmhouse decor. That was one that I saw, which it's like that always struck me as like a little. I never liked farmhouse decor, and if you like it, like that's your aesthetic. It was just never for me.
No, I remember because it was the Chip and Joanna, right? That's her name?
Yeah.
I do love that show, but like they put a barn door on every fucking door.
Yeah.
And I remember at Denver Comedy Works, they have a barn door on the like the bathroom door, and I was like, "What? This is the most hilarious door. You're running because you might have to shit your pants, and then the last thing you have to do to get to the toilet is push a heavy door."
Which causes you to shit
your pants. You're like, it was
making
so
it
close.
Worse. Yeah. But it's so funny because I did go in like a bit of a spiral of just like Googling Cheugy stuff, Choogling, and just looking up because I was like, I had this kind of like moment where I was like, oh my gosh, am I like walking around just like badly out of style and people can just like pick me out and, you know, are people like whispering about me? I had a paranoid meltdown.
Yeah.
And so I was looking up this stuff and it was really funny because like apparently lasagna is Cheugy and it's
I love
like,
it. I love it.
We've gone too far. Like lasagna,
yeah.
you can eat lasagna.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember it being characteristic of like the odds in any way.
Actually, I could probably name a few foods that I would think is Cheugy because like things do. I bet you anything like cauliflower.
Cauliflower,
Cheugy,
it probably is, yeah. Or like keto, low carb.
Keto is Cheugy.
People are over keto at this point.
Can I just say, Factor? I think it was a company like a meal prep company. I think they wanted us, or not us, but Joe's, to be a sponsor. So they delivered their keto food packaging or whatever to us, but they didn't even ask if we were going to be around.
Oh,
So it was just like
ew.
rotting meat hanging outside of our apartment for a week.
Oh.
And I was like, this is so disheartening. I don't know why I had to share this story about.
That's
I-
choogy. Dropping food off without telling, so choogy.
Choogy.
So,
Wasteful.
well, speaking of sponsors, though, I forgot to say this: the
Yes.
manscaping. We still have the manscaping sponsorship.
Yes.
So if you do want to get one of the manscaping kits, which we showed a couple episodes ago, you could check it out on our YouTube. It's this gorgeous kit. It is a fantastic gift for a boyfriend, dad, lover, married guy you're seeing. What? Keep
I
it
love
together. But we have codes. We have codes. So it's Manjourney, MANJOURNEY. If you go to the Manscaped website, type it in, and you'll get 20% off, which is great because it's like a $200 kit.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah.
Lady Journey.
Lady Journey.